Hey, what's up, guys? We just got back from the junkyard. We picked up a few parts. Basically, what we picked up was two CV axles, a front drive shaft, and a front differential with the axle disconnect from I believe it was an '08 Chevy Trailblazer. And then we came across a 2500 Savannah with a 480, real clean. So pick that up too, why not? So here's the parts so far. Here's the CV axles, front drive shaft, the front differential. I'm not exactly sure what gears are in it. I'll have to pull it apart. It might be 373s, I think, I don't know. And the front axle disconnect. And this is the 480 that we picked up. Didn't notice any debris or friction material in the pan. So we're gonna pull the motor out and start getting it tore down. Here's a time lapse. The reason I cut the frame rail off was because I ordered a tube bender. I'm gonna make a tube chassis for the front end. But the other idea that's still getting tossed around is to make this thing all-wheel drive using the Trailblazer suspension or Trailblazer drivetrain I picked up. What I would have to do in order to do that would be use the Trailblazer oil pan on this motor and cut the firewall out to, I don't know, about there roughly. Would have to go back about 5 inches and up 1. And that would put my front CV axles right in line with the Taurus knuckles that I've been kind of messing around with to get fitted up to this. So we'll see how that goes before making any decisions. So my idea was to try to do an all-wheel drive setup using the Trailblazer drivetrain and incorporate knuckles from a 2015 Ford Taurus. So I've been kind of messing around with those knuckles. Kind of got them to work. I'll take a look at these. So I kind of got these mounted up. There's a couple issues I'm running into, but basically what I did was I chopped off part of the knuckle up here, milled it down so that it would fit inside of the factory Foxbody suspension. Obviously the lower ball joint isn't hooked up very well, but I picked up a reamer so that way I could re-drill these and ream a new hole for the ball joint and tie rod. If you want to look under there, you'll see it's got like a crater. So what I did was I welded that back up, built some material up, milled it down flat, and I was going to drill it with that reamer to fit the ball joint properly. The issues I'm having right now would be, if you look inside of here, the CV axle would have to come out right about here to be in line with the hub. That would mean the motor has to go back 5 inches and up 1, approximately, to get the right angle. Not a huge issue. And then the other thing I did to the hub was I had to weld some material up here to give me a good platform for the wheel bearing to rest on. And then I drilled that out. So it's actually a 3-bolt pattern now instead of the factory Taurus. What was it called? Trapezoid. bolt pattern. And then the idea was to run Taurus, the non-police interceptor brakes and rotors, which I believe are, I think they're 12.9 inch rotors, and the pistons are dual pot pistons. Another issue I was going to run into is when this is compressed so that the lower control arm is at a decent angle, there's only about 1.5 to 2 inches of travel in the shock. So one of my ideas was to cut out the shock tower, just the very top, and basically push the hat of the shock up and build an extension hat to give myself another, I don't know, 2 inches of travel. I mean, worst case, if I have to put a little hole in the hood and just put some kind of cover over it, I mean, so be it. I really don't care. So that's basically the idea behind trying to run the all-wheel drive setup. But at the same time, with some work to the suspension, refresh the motor, I'm gonna go through, redo the hot side a little bit, try to make it a little more efficient on the 80 millimeter. I mean, the car should be well into the 8s anyways on a decent prep track. But the idea with running the all-wheel drive would be that, it could be an 8-second car on a prep track and an 8-second car on a no prep track, or a hell of a street car. But I don't know if the work would be worth the benefits, so I'm still debating that. I'm gonna put the block in once I take the heads off and just see where everything lines up, and just get a better idea of how it's gonna work out if I end up going that route. Thanks for watching, and I'll be making another video once I get the block fit up and see how that works out, and decide if I want to go with the all-wheel drive route or just stick with the two-wheel drive. And thanks for watching.